laws are not based on sentiments. It's based on facts. It's based on evidence. And then they had ample time to prove all their things. Now, a few things that were raised. And you see, this case also is going to settle some constitutional issues. The issue of 25%. You know, this thing, funny enough, has been recurrent and recurring. You remember 1983? It was Awolowo and Shagari, Richard Akijide coming in, the 12 to 3rd was the actual, position. Now, this time around, based on the 1999 Constitution, it talks about 25% in 2/3 of the states and Abuja. Now, so the court is going to help us to actually put paid to that issue of and. Now, we've had instances where the court, even the courts and the Supreme Court also have expatiated on the use of and, use of shall, use of may, and how these things, and all these things, how they work. So we're going to go in for a bit of not just semantics now, but how law works in regards to certain usage of some things that we're used to, because the court here is going to interpret and how it works as far as this petition is concerned, because it's a germane part of what's on ground. Because some people, certain petitions have alleged that the sitting president didn't win in Abuja. And then also we've had all kinds of explanations, legal explanations, where people have come to say that and says that it's 37 states. Some say and distinguishes, Abuja, and that means that you have to. So definitely that's a major point that I think a lot of people are focusing on. As for another part also is the uploading of the results in real time and how it affects it. Though there's been some court decisions in that regard, but everybody's looking up to the appeal court. And you know the way it works with presidential election. They don't start from the lowest tribunal. They start from the Court of Appeal. Then the next place is the Supreme Court, which is not going to have much to do. The Supreme Court will just look at the judgment and decide how to. That's why you have shorter time for the Supreme Court to determine what so it's at the appeal court level where they are now, the presidential electoral petition level, which happened at the appeal court. That's where parties for the presidential election were able to prove their mettle, bring their evidences and facts, and corroborate whatever the other person is saying or dispute whatever the other petitioners are saying. So at this level, once they're done here, I think we should appeal or make people understand that it's not final yet. The Supreme Court is still there. So whatever the decision here, they're still taking it a step further, depending on the candidates. We just talked about the fact that certain persons looked at it and decided to opt out based on how they fancy their chance at the tribunal. So going forward, you may see one candidate still saying, no, I'm not satisfied with today's decision. Then there's still the option of Supreme Court for this presidential electoral petition. Then both candidates may go ahead, or the other three parties may decide to go jointly or whichever way, but there's still a step further beyond today. So whatever happens today, the parties will have to go and sit down, review their situation, review the judgment, possibly ask for or seek further interpretation and explanation on how the judgment favors them or how the judgment is against them. In fact, not just the three parties now, because I'm not preempting anything, all the parties, they will look at how the judgment affects them, because you don't know what the court is going to come up with, and nobody has seen the judgment except the judges. So they're in the best position. So once it's read, then that's when we can now make, opinions and now make headway of what has gone down and how everything has been explained. So that will determine the next step for all the parties. So.
All right.